It's your boy, Michael Afwani X, with that Lovepreneurship University, reminding you about the most powerful technology in the world. See, many people are not utilizing this technology that you see. I don't know why. It's because we haven't been taught about its importance, about its ability to transform our life. Now, these are going to be the two particular books of focus for today, but the books I'm going to show you all, right? All can be purchased on our Afwani bookstore. They can be purchased on our Afwani bookstore, right? Why? Because these are books that are going to take your life to the next level. They're going to teach you about the realities of your world, and they're going to make you a better being. So don't let anybody fool you. This is our favorite right here, how to write grants like Legally Black. So many people are not writing good grants, really because they're scared, right? They're afraid of fear of failure, fear of success. And so our job is to help people overcome that fear of failure. One of the major fears of failure I see is as it relates to uh, becoming a better version of themselves, right? Is eating. We are what we eat. And because we aren't elevating our capacity, it's not making us intelligent enough to see the importance of fasting, right? Meditation and prayer. Now, so that's the focus of what we want to talk about, right? Of what we want to talk about as we're taking things to the next level. Because this is the opportunity, right? Because you are going to be investing in definitely a lot of different cryptos, a lot of different assets. Before you invest, you got to get your mind right. And in order to get your mind right, you have to know what matters. So investing is very spiritual. Why? Because many of you all need to practice discipline, delaying gratification. And one of the ways to delay gratification is to practice fasting. You did. So let's get into fasting. What's an example of it? What's the focus of my fast? What's the focus of my fast? How do I want my life story to be read? Right? You could be like Daniel and eat the plain foods in the kingdom and transform your life. So why not be like Daniel and transform your life? Why not be like Daniel and transform your life? You see, I ate only plain and simple foods, no seasoning or meat or wine. I neither bathed nor shaved until 3 weeks were up. Fasting. See what I'm saying? You gotta fast, and because Bitcoin requires you to invest with your mind, right? You gotta first delay gratification, and one of the ways to delay gratification is to learn how to fast. This is gonna help you elevate your capacity, right? This is gonna help you elevate your capacity, because too many people are not elevating their capacity. You see, when you practice some appetite denying discipline to better concentrate on El Elo, don't make a production out of it, you see. Don't make a production out of it. You don't need to do that. It might turn you into a small time celebrity, but it won't make you a saint. If you go into training inwardly, right? Act normally, outwardly, shampoo and comb your hair, brush your teeth, wash your face. You see, the Most High doesn't require attention getting devices on this attention getting device. He won't overlook what you've done and will reward you well. Why is this critical? Because in order for you to invest into assets like Bitcoin, you got to get your mind right. In order to get your mind right, you have to learn how to delay your gratification. And in order to delay your gratification, you got to get spiritually well. You got to know what matters. You got to know what you are particularly holding back on, right? And so there are many ways you can do this. You can reward yourself each time that you are past a particular thing. You can use that as a reward system to invest in, right? So now not only does rewarding or investing become a spiritual healthy thing, it becomes something that you can transform your life with, right? So let's continue to read, right? So we mistakenly think we are nourished by harmful substances when we consume bad foods, and this must be corrected. So how will we correct it? We'll correct it by examining properly, right, what we have gained during the fast. So you have to examine, audit, and review. So there's a three-step process we always teach our clients, right? A three-step process we always teach our clients. And so it's audit and review. You got to audit your life. You got to see where you're at. You got to be able to review your investing. Is it at a level that you want it to be? Do you want to take it higher, right? Once you've audited and you've reviewed it properly, you then have to go on to number two. Number two is agreeing and improving. You got to then agree on the proper direction, on the proper strategy, right? You got to first plan the work then work the plan, right? So number 2 leads you to number 3. And number 3 is what? Executing and repeating. You got to execute and repeat your step process in order to take it to the next level. This is critical because so many people are not executing and repeating their plan. They may start it, but they're not fully carrying it out because what is harder now will be easier later. And what is easier now will be harder later, you see. And so fasting, right? Delaying gratification. Again, you can see all these books on our TikTok store, talking about, get these little books, talking about make sure you're reading. Books are the real technology, right? Books are technology. Look at this Holy Bible. We're also going to get some quick Holy Bible reads in because a lot of times it's about spiritual wellness, you see. You got to get your spiritual wellness up. Reading is the real technology. That's what I'm here to remind you on. Reading is the real technology. You did. You got to read. We hold power books to our ears, you see. You got to read. If you're not reading, you're playing. This is a book for our child. What are you feeding your child? What does your child read? Are you teaching about your baby how to rule your other babies? You know what I'm talking about? Sense of how they're gonna build the world out, right? Because they're gonna have to either know robotics or be taught by robotics. You see, so you're either the engineer or the engineered. You see, you're either the engineer. Man, I'm gonna write that one down. Y'all can use that. You're either the engineer or the engineered. Like, share, subscribe if what I'm saying is making sense. Because this is all about elevating your capacity. In order, is it too late to invest? Never. Right? This is a pullback right now. Are you going to take yourself to the next level though? Are you going to actually use a plan? Are you actually going to chart? Or are you just going to jump in there? No, I'd advise you to chart it, right? I advise you to chart it. Actually, we're going to do the Bible. We're going to restart off with some good scripture. Some good scripture here, got me going, man. Y'all got me going. And I've been seeing a lot of good scripture lately. We're going to read one of my favorites. Malachi is 4:6 is my favorite, but we're also going to do some Proverbs. Proverbs in the AM is always how we elevate capacity. You see, you got to elevate your capacity with what you can handle. You see, so let's get in it. Don't brag about tomorrow, since you don't know what the day will bring. Let someone else praise you, not your own mouth. A stranger, not your own lips. A stone is heavy and sand is weighty, but the resentment caused by a fool is even heavier. You see, anger is cruel and wrath is like food or like a flood, but jealousy is even more dangerous. Jealousy is even more dangerous. An open rebuke is better than hidden love. You see, wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy. You see, a person who is full refuses honey, right? But even bitter food tastes sweet to the hungry. So how hungry are you for this knowledge? So a person who strays from home is like a bird that strays from its nest, right? So don't stray from your home. You see, the heartfelt counsel of a friend is better and as sweet as perfume and incense. Never abandon a friend, either yours or your father's. When disaster strikes, you won't have to ask your brother for assistance. It's better to go to a neighbor than to a brother who lives far away. Come on. Be wise, my child, and make my heart glad. Then I will be able to answer my critics. A prudent person foresees danger and takes precaution. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. You see. Get security from someone who guarantees a stranger's debts. Get a deposit if he does it for foreigners. A loud and cheerful greeting early in the morning will be taken as a curse. A quarrelsome wife is as annoying as constant dripping on a rainy day. You see, stopping her complaints is like trying to stop the wind or trying to hold something with greased hands. You just keep slipping, you see. You just keep slipping. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend, right? As workers who tend to a fig tree are allowed to eat the fruit, so workers who protect their employer's interests will be rewarded, right? As a face is reflected, in water, so the heart reflects the real person. The heart will reflect you, you see. Just as death and destructions are never satisfied, so human desire is never satisfied. Right? Your desires are the root of all your suffering. Fire tests the purity of silver and gold, but a person is tested by being praised. You see, you cannot separate fools from their foolishness, even though you grind them like grain with mortar and pistols. Know the state of your flocks. Know the state of your flocks, and put your heart into caring for your herds, for riches don't last forever, and the crown may not be passed to the next generation. You see, so you got to be able to pass that crown to the next generation, because after the hay is harvested, and the new crops appear, and the new mountain grasses are gathered in. Your sheep will provide wool for clothing, and your goats will provide the price of a field, and you will have enough goat's milk for yourself and your family, for your servant's girl. The wicked run away when no one is chasing them, but the godly are as bold as lions. You see, when there is a moral rot within a nation, its government topples easily. It's what we're seeing. But wise and knowledgeable leaders bring stability. So to reject law is to praise the wicked. To obey the law is to fight them. You see. So evil people don't understand justice, but those who follow the Lord understand completely. Right? Better to be poor and honest than to be dishonest and rich. Young people who obey the law are wise. Those with wild friends bring shame to their parents. Right? Income from charging high interest rates will end up in the pocket of someone who is kind to the poor. You see, God detests the prayers of a person who ignores the law. You hear that? Don't ignore the law. Make sure that you are reading. Make sure that you are reading. Ikra, Muhammad. Make sure that you are reading. The more that you read, mira, the more that you look, right? You will take yourself to the next level. You will take yourself to the next level. You must tap into the highest technology, one of the highest technologies in the earth, which is wisdom, or more specifically, books is a form of technology. Books is a way to collect and catalog data. You didn't know that? You didn't think about it like that, did you? Books are a form of technology. And so, how are you utilizing this technology on this digital platform? You can create a physical product and still make it digital, or make that digital physical product into a straight digital, right? But still, this books, whether physical or digital, is technology. So you got to utilize your technology to elevate your capacity. Because you got to ask yourself, are you an emotionally smart person? Make more peace, because blessed are the peacemakers, and they will inherit the earth. Not the peacekeepers, right? Doesn't mean that you always got to keep peace. It means you got to be able to make peace when the time arrives with those who are ready to be peaceful. You see? So keep going. You can do this. Yeah, we believe in you.